I would like to call the special meeting of the Valley Central Board of Education for Friday, April 3rd, 2020 to order at 5 p.m. I am Sarah Messing, President of the Board of Education for Valley Central Schools. Due to the fact that we are in a state of emergency in regards to the coronavirus, our district offices are closed and we are practicing our social distancing. We have decided to hold our special meeting over the phone for the health and safety of our board members and our administration. There will be no public participation this evening. The live audio from this meeting will be streamed on our district Facebook page. I will take a second to introduce everyone on the call here. We have our superintendent, Mr. Xanthus, our deputy superintendent, Mr. Bellarosa, our assistant superintendent, Ms. Sarator, our interim business official, Mr. Conklin, our district clerk, Ellen Nikolchik, our media specialist, Patty Bear, and our Board of Education members, Vice President Joseph Bond, and trustees, Art Fitzgerald, Sonia Lewis, Diana Rabor, Sheila Schwartz, and Mel Wittenberg. Before we get started, I'd just like to say thank you to Chris Moore, our Director of Technology, for setting up this meeting. I would also like to say thank you and publicly acknowledge again all the efforts and the hard work and the very long hours that our central office staff has continued to put in during the last couple of weeks, guiding our district through this uncharted territory. We appreciate everything you have done and continue to do. I would ask if
Can we check if somebody has their TV on or something? Like, there's a lot of like background noise in somebody's call that's not muted or something.
Better?
Okay, much better, thank you.
That's much better. Yeah. I would ask at this time that we take a moment and stand and say the pledge. After the pledge, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for everyone impacted by this horrible virus, for those that continue to suffer from its effects, and those that are out there every day fighting to protect us. And I ask that we keep in our thoughts the family and colleagues of the Newburgh and Large City School Districts who tragically lost their Board of Education Vice President, Susan Prokosh, this past week. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. The first item on our agenda tonight is an update. I will hand it over to our central administrators at this time.
Hi, everybody. It's Mike. So I just, first of all, I want to say I hope everybody's safe and well, and I hope the people that are close to you are also safe and well. We're starting to get more and more calls to us from the number of staff members that we have and the number of friends that we have, and we're hearing some things that are pretty tough, and I know people are going through a tough time. So I wish everybody the best. You guys have, I'm sure, been keeping up with the statistics of what's been happening in certain, over the country and in New York State. And I read something about an hour ago, this report from Friday, that in the last 3 days, the number of deaths from the coronavirus has gone from 1,500 to almost 3,000, just shy of 3,000. So basically in 3 days, the number has doubled. And really, some of these other statistics are just, as you read them, they're devastating. States recorded more than 10,000 today alone, more than 10,000 positive tests for the virus just in 1 day. There's now over 102,000 cases, almost 103,000, and that's up from 92,000 on Thursday. New York City has about half of those cases, about 50%. But of course, in our proximity to New York City, Orange County also has the rates have increased quite a bit. So, people are we get on a call with the area school districts, and people are all starting to feel things and hear things that are hitting really close to home. So, the other day, Lynn Remenar, our school physician, called, and she's in the middle of this, obviously, being a healthcare provider, and she took the time to call, and she's been researching some things about mental health to have some resources available for our employees, for our community, to put up on our sites, and she's working on a couple of things for us, but that was really touching that, what they're doing is, I can't even imagine it, but for her to be taking the time to make a call to us and making sure we were okay and doing the best that she could as our school physician as well. So, we really thank her. The three things that I spoke to you about the last time, just to update you on, one, the food service program. Eleanor Mills and the custodial staff, Ryan Schmidt, Mike Bartle, have been out there every day. Certainly, we continue the backpack snack attack program that Arby Gravel is directing. We're going to continue to do the 5 meals each week. The only adjustment that we want to make is just to try to keep people healthy. Is Eleanor is going to now on Thursday for this week, because of Good Friday, she's going to double pack a meal on Thursday that will go out. That will be Thursday's and Friday's meal, and then going forward the following week, I believe her schedule is going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with the idea that people would double bag meals on Wednesday and then again on Thursday. Again, trying just to keep people. We don't know how long this will go, but we do have some new volunteers, but it's harder to get people to commit for 5 days. And the other day we had to pull a couple of teenagers off that they had been in contact with somebody who was a little nervous, and fortunately that seems like it was a false alarm that they're going to be okay. But I think this is a good plan going forward. We'll still do the 5 days, but it'll be an abbreviated actual contact with people. And then today you're going to talk in a little while about the child care program, and I know you may have some questions about that for us, but I'll wait until that comes up on the agenda. But basically, I'll let you know this, is that the Y hopes to begin this, if everything goes well this evening with the approval, on Monday the 13th. But they have 11 slots that we can place people if they're in need, beginning on Monday at their Middletown location. So they will take them over in Middletown on Monday, and then we'll start at Berea, hopefully on April 13th. And then finally, I'll let Mary Ann weigh in on the instructional piece, but I'll tell you, this has been really tough. And any of you that have kids, in all the years that we taught, we got both our kids at home and my wife at home. And when on days that I'm here, I can't even imagine what she's doing on days that I'm not here. But trying to help her, it's hard. It's really a challenging thing to be able to get the kids on the Chromebook and do their assignments. And like I say, all the years I've been teaching, my biggest problem is classroom management, because I can control it. So, for everybody, all the parents out there that are doing this, we realize how hard it is, and we really appreciate everybody's working together to make, the best of this situation. And Mary Ann, I know you might have some details you want to add about the instructional.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everybody. I hope you're all well. So as you already know, that the governor has proclaimed that we cannot have a spring break. So right at this point, our teachers are going to continue along with the plan that we have been using up until the 14th. So over spring break, they'll be providing learning activities, they'll be providing feedback, they'll be available by email. At this point, I've been working with the principals for about a week, and we have put together a revised plan should the governor close past the 15th, which I'm sure that he will. And that plan is a little bit more involved and will include new instruction. So we're hoping to put, once Mike makes his call to the public, we will put out emails to all the parents that explains the instructional plan in detail. I've been working with Barbara and our special ed attorney, Neil, to make sure that we are fulfilling all the mandates of special ed. I had a meeting today with the OT, PTs, and SEEDs, as well as Barb in Georgia.
And we have a plan in place with the technology department to make sure that we have a plan for replacements and repairs of the Chromebooks. And that, I think, is the three areas that we're most concerned about. It's the Chromebooks and special ed and making sure parents understand the guidelines and that teachers are prepared and students are prepared. If you have any questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
Marianne, this is Art. How many Chromebooks are available to the district?
We have lots of Chromebooks. So part of the problem is, well, I could pull up the inventory right now probably, but I mean, we have thousands of Chromebooks. So the problem is that some of the Chromebooks are in parts, but if we have to, we will dismantle we will dismantle the Chromebooks and we will hand them out. But right now we're in a good spot, and each of the principals have a plan in place that they're working with either their computer para, their computer teacher, and a technician. So as new requests come in or repairs come in, a parent will email the principal, who will then get his team together. But right now the principals feel like they're in good shape. I talked to Chris Moore not too long ago, and he said right now we're in good shape. Once the new plan comes out and people become aware that we're going to expect children to be completing these activities, to be logging on daily, we may see an increase in the need, and we will have those Chromebooks available.
Hi, this is Sonia.
Hi, Sonia.
I just wanted to ask about the families who do not have internet access.
Mm-hmm. So right now, we are trying to purchase hotspots. Chris Moore, but they're very backordered. So, Brad, you may know more information about this. I know one of the problems was we could have bought them from Verizon, but Verizon would not take a purchase order. So I don't know, Brad, where we are with that, but we are trying to purchase hotspots for the families that don't have internet. We've also reached out to them to let them know about the free spectrum. There's not a lot of families. I think right now we have like 8. That's what Jamie told me. We had 8 families. So we're going to have to figure that out. It's just a way of procuring the ability to purchase these from Verizon.
Right. Yeah, I did see the thing about Spectrum, but I think we need to have like a waiting list, obviously, with everybody who's ordering. So.
Well, I will reach out again to Chris Moore and see where we are with purchasing these hotspots. I know they're back ordered for quite a while, but Verizon was giving out some free to districts that subscribe to them. But again, I want to take a purchase order. So I mean, if we can figure out a way how we can pay for them without a purchase order, then we can purchase them. But I'll have to talk to Brad about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Sarah, can I say something?
Yes.
This is John. Okay. Yeah, I should have started with this because I just want to mention to the board and thank Mike and Marianne and Brad, Patty and Ellen and Jen for their leadership through this. As Mike mentioned, Marianne alluded to, we had to have 3 plans: an academic plan, a food service plan, and child care plan. And been on a call almost every day with the superintendents, and I will tell you, and actually Terry Reynolds has called Marianne about things. We've become the model, I believe, for the county of what we're doing here. So I want to thank everybody for that, and I want the board to know that. The other thing I want to say, the unions have been most cooperative. They fully intended to have next week off the way it worked. We weren't able to do that, but we worked with them to continue supporting kids, and they were more than willing to do that. And there's been a great cooperation with them and the community. I hear stories, again, from other superintendents about feedback from people that are feeling that the teachers are at home, they're sitting there, they're getting paid, they're not doing what they should be, and I just wanted to let the board know the only communications that I've seen, and I think I would hear otherwise from parents, have been positive about what we're doing with the academics and what our teachers are doing. I think you saw maybe that Walden had a spirit day each day this week, which was well received, and a lot of positive feedback from that. And Eleanor and her ladies doing a tremendous job with the food service program. And the last thing is what you're approving tonight, and I appreciate very much you coming together on Friday night to do this, because this will be a nice program for kids of parents that are first responders and different things that provide for them a safe place for their kids, and at one of our schools, which will make it very, a little bit more unsettling, I would say. So I'll be quiet, but thanks. And thank you, everybody, for your good work.
I'm sorry, it's Bonnie. I just have another question. Go ahead. I just want to, I know this is difficult for everybody, including you guys, trying to figure out this whole plan and figure out how to go from here in uncharted waters. I had questions over, in speaking of, like first responders, right? So these people are out working all day and doing what they need to do, and then, we're coming into this new part of where kids are required to complete this work, and I'm just wondering how those things will be taken into consideration and handled.
Well, if I could just ask, so our plan, I think, is one of the, is in talking with the other assistant superintendents, is I really believe that our plan is like a compromise. So we are going to be providing new material because we do need to do that, but we are going to be, let's say for the elementaries, it's really going to be about like participation, like as best they can do. So if they're just engaged in the activities, like we're not expecting the work to be, as we're not expecting this to be like the normal classroom. We're not going to be expecting that, but we do have we have the need to provide this material to the kids, but we do realize that there's, 500 different scenarios out there in the Valley Central School District, and teachers and parents know, teachers and guidance counselors know to be sensitive to that. The guidance counselors are putting together a survey. Well, they already put it together, but they're going to send it out to all students in the middle school and high school. I'm asking them, what they're struggling with, what they need as far as emotional support. So we are very cognizant of the fact that this is hard, and we're not going to be holding kids to the same standards as we would as if they were, coming to school every day. We're going to try to provide as much support as possible while fulfilling the mandate and giving kids what they may need to move on to the next level.
Thank you.
I just want to add too, Marianne, I think nothing will be punitive. I think that's the other thing. Everything we understand, there was a mom who wrote a letter about her daughter not being able to get the work done and feeling overwhelmed, and Marianne spoke to her, Russ actually spoke to her and said, look, this is nothing. Next week, take time to do anything she hasn't got done. There's no pressure. This is not being graded. It's just being completed for the review of the teacher. So I think the approach, again, from Mary Ann and the administrators right down through the teachers has been very positive. And we understand, as you mentioned, Sonia, people's situations for sure. And we'll never put a kid in a place where if you don't get this done, this is going to be a problem. Two other things, if it's okay, I just want to mention, we did get some numbers, and I don't want to take the time tonight. I know Brad's got a lot of information, and he was on a call with the assistant superintendents in the county today about the numbers. And we're going to have to look at that. Not great news, certainly, and most people feel it's going to get worse. But the other thing we're going to find out, next Monday and Tuesday, the Board of Regents will be meeting, and supposedly they're going to be making some determinations at that meeting about regents grading and things like that. They're going to be making some proposals. So we should know. We'll have better information out to you, if not Tuesday, hopefully by Wednesday, of what they decided, because that's something that's hanging on everybody. What's the plan going forward? Because we've been working in these 2-week increments. So as soon as we get that and we have information, we'll share it with you. Okay? Thanks again.
Does anybody have any further questions?
I want to just add, Sarah, I'm sorry, that may also, what also is on that agenda is some information on APPR. So as far as our tenure review, we're probably going to want to talk about that as soon as we have that information from that meeting that John's talking about from the Board of Regents.
Okay. Thank you. If there's nothing further, we will move on to the adoption of a resolution, the approval of agreements between the Valley Central School District and the YMCA of Middletown. As you know, one of the governor's directives is to provide child care to children of essential employees. This resolution is agreement between the Valley Central School District and the YMCA to provide that child care. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved. From Sheila.
Thanks, Sheila. Can I get a second?
Second from Art.
Thanks, Art. Any discussion?
Yes. Sorry, it's Sonia.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's Mike. I know Mike has put out something regarding how to access it. I was wondering if he could just explain how a person who would need the service could access it.
Hi, Sonia. Yeah, that's a good question. So we're going to do another robocall on this tomorrow as well, but we put out a few calls and we have it all over our social media that basically what they do is they can either email me directly, but ultimately there's a survey that we have that really asks about 10, 12 questions to identify what their exact needs are, the age of their child, what school in the district they attend, and once we get that information, we reach out to them personally, and that's really all they need to do.
Thank you.
Can I just make one closing comment? I promise I'll be quiet. I'll just be quick. I just want to mention to the board, I know it sounds like you guys have a great grasp of what's going on, but Mike made a comment we were talking to Mark the other day, and there was 51 lawyers on a call, I guess, and there's 51 different opinions, and that's a lot of what's going on right now, that every issue that comes up, it gets debated. People have different what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. So this is all kind of being created as we go. So I apologize for not having better information that this is the way it's going to be, but it's been very difficult, and we're on these calls every day with the superintendents who Bill Heck is on with Albany every day before that usually, and it's just very difficult to get any information. That's why we're hoping on Monday and Tuesday we'll get some much better information to you guys, certainly, and to the public. Okay? Thanks again. I'm sorry for being long-winded.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I will do a roll call vote. Sarah Messing? Yes. Joe Vaughn?
Yes.
Art Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Sonia Lewis?
Yes.
Diana Rivar?
Yes.
Sheila Schwartz?
Yes.
Mel Wessenberg?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. If there's nothing further, can I get a motion to adjourn our meeting?
Sarah, just something real quick.
Yeah.
I'll never be voted an advocate for social media, but I do want to recognize that we have a pretty good following for today's meeting, and just want to say thank you for those that have attended, and appreciate the comments that you're adding, and it's great to have you involved in the meeting. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Joe.
And Sarah, I had mentioned this to you, it's Sheila, in our conversations, via phone, that, as we're looking at where this is going in upcoming weeks, and as we are going to start having those budget conversations, I hope the administration is looking for a way that, even though we might not be able to meet together, we're able to have the public call us in or, send something into Facebook, questions and concerns, so that they know that they're being heard and are, providing some input for us during that time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Sonia. I did see that the town of Montgomery was doing that. What Sheila just said, they were allowing people to comment or email in questions or comments, and they had like a phone number you could call into to express. So maybe that's something, one of those things, or we could look at for the future.
Sure. Thank you. Anybody else? Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at this time then?
So Joe, I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Joe. Can I get a second?
I'll second, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila. I will do a roll call vote. Sarah Messing, yes. Joseph Bond,
Yes.
Art Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Sonia Lewis,
Yes, and thank you again to everybody that's working very hard right now.
Diana Rivor,
Yes.
Sheila Schwartz,
Yes.
Mel Wessenberg.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to adjourn our meeting at 5:27. I want to say thank you again to our central office staff and our entire Valley Central family that continues to work so hard in this unprecedented time. We appreciate everything that everyone is doing. Thank you and have a good night and be safe.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Yep,
Sarah.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Talk to you soon, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye-bye.